Minute Math. When you need help, you use Minute Math.
I'm Sean and this is Minute Math. And today we're going to learn about finding slope from 2 points. We're going to find the slope of the line through each pair of points. So if I were given these points here, 19, negative 16, so 19, negative 16. My second point here is negative 7, negative 15. Okay, so I have 19, negative 16, and negative 7, and negative 15. Okay, so my slope formula, m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I'm going to apply it here. I have labeled my x1, y1, x2, y2. So we have m equals y2 minus y1, so y2, which is negative 15, minus y1, which is negative 16, all over x2, negative 7, minus 19. Okay, so now we have m equals negative 15 minus a negative 16. All right, so we have plus a positive there. So negative 15 plus a positive 16 is a positive 1. And then we have negative 7 plus a negative 19, really, minus a negative, adding minus 19 is adding a negative. So negative 7 plus a negative 17, or 19, is a negative 26, and there's our slope. There's our answer. 1 over negative 26. 1, negative 19, and negative 2, negative 7. So I have my 2 points, my point 1 and point 2 here. So our formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I'll write it out, and I have my corresponding x1s and y1s and x2s and y2s. So y2 is negative 7, minus y1, which is a negative 19, over negative 2 minus 1, negative 2 being my x2, and 1 being my x1. So now let's simplify this. Well, we have negative 7 minus a negative 19. That's the same thing as adding a negative 19, right? So negative 7 adding a positive 19, adding a positive 19, right? Make a positive 19 right there. And that gives us here a positive 12. So positive 12 over negative 2 minus 1 is negative 3. So we can simplify that. Well, 12 divided by negative 3 is a negative 4. And negative 4 is our answer. That's our final slope right there. So let's recap. We're given our 2 points, 1, negative 19, and negative 2, negative 7. So what I wanted to do is find the slope of that. So I have my formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1 right there, and x2 minus my x1 right there. Okay, and now I made my subtracting a negative 19, maybe adding a positive 19, and then I simplified. I did the numerators first, all right, across the numerator. So negative 7 plus a positive 19 is a positive 12, and negative 2 minus a 1 was a negative 3. Then we simplified 12 over negative 3, which came out to be a negative 4, and negative 4 is the slope of my final. Negative 4, 7, and my second point being negative 6, negative 4. Okay. Well, I'm just going to apply the slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So slope here, m equals y2, negative 4, minus y1, 7, over x2, negative 6, minus x1, a negative 4. Okay, so now let's go simplify this. Well, let's go show the simplification. Negative 4 minus 7, we can rewrite that as negative 4 plus a negative 7. And then negative 6 minus a negative 4 is the same thing as plus a positive 4. Okay? So I find it easier sometimes when I'm dealing with negatives to keep everything in terms of addition. So we have negative 4 plus a negative 7. Oh, that comes out to be a good old negative 11. And negative 6 divided by, it's negative 6 plus a positive 4 is a negative 2. Well, 2 negatives become positive. 2 wrongs make a right in mathematics, not in real life. And 11 divided by 2, or negative 11 over negative 2, is a positive 11 over 2. Can't simplify that anymore, so we have 11 over 2 as our final answer and our final slope. These 2 points, 20 and 8 is my first point. My second point being 9 and 16. 9 and 16. So I have my 2 points here. And I need to find the slope. So my slope formula says y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I change in y over my change in x. So we have my slope here, well, is y2, 16, minus y1, which is 8, over x2, 9, minus x1, which is 20. Okay, so we have 16 minus 8. We can probably solve that right there. 16 minus 8 is a good old positive 8. But 9 minus a 20 comes out to be a negative 11. Negative 11. Okay, so if you rewrite that, I like to have the negative up front here. So negative 8 over 11 is just my final answer. There's no simplification that really can go on there. 8 and 11 there's no common factors, so there we go. Our slope, our final answer here is a negative 8 over 11. 17, comma, negative 13, and 17, comma, 8. So we have 2 points there. And so I need to follow my slope formula. So my slope here, my y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, y2 being 8, minus y1, which is negative 13, over x2, 17, minus x1, 17. Okay? Now this 8 minus a negative 13, I can write as 8 plus a positive 13, right? Two negatives make a positive there when we subtract them, right? Subtracting negatives, adding a positive. And we have 17 minus 17, you can leave it like that, or you can write it as plus a negative 17. Up to you, it really doesn't matter. Well, 8 plus a positive 13, that's a good old, what is it, 21? Over 17 plus a negative 17, which is 0. Uh-oh, we got a 0. 0 shouldn't always be scary, but right now it's like, hey, we're dividing by a 0. What does that mean? Well, we can't divide by a 0, right? We can't divide by 0. We're not allowed to. So what is this slope? Well, since we can't divide by 0, we call this slope undefined. Undefined. I spelled right? Yeah, of course I did. Undefined. So undefined right there is what we call our slope there, because it's not defined as being a perfectly a vertical slope, if you will. So if we were to graph this, that would be a perfectly vertical slope. There's one above the other, going straight up there. So undefined there, and that vertical slope doesn't really have a value. You can say we can determine it. It's just we call it undefined. So whenever you see divided by 0, it's called undefined. Once 19, comma 3, and 20, comma 3. So I'm going to apply my slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So y2 being 3 minus y1, which is also 3, over x2, 20, minus x1, which is 19. So we simplify it. 3 minus 3, 0, over 20 minus 19 is just a 1. Well, 0 divided by 1, be careful, we're allowed to do this. 0 divided by 1 is totally okay. And we have a slope of 0, because 0 divided by 1 is 0. And I'm not going to circle that answer, it could be kind of confusing, so I'll put a box around it. And so our final answer, our final slope here is just 0 between these 2 points. 3, comma 0, and negative 11, and negative 15. Okay, so let's go follow our slope formula. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. y2 negative 15 minus y1, which is 0, over x2 negative 11 minus 3. Okay? Well, the numerator is pretty easy to simplify. Negative 15 minus 0 is negative 15, right? And negative 11 minus 3 is the same thing as negative 11 plus the negative 3. So we have a negative 14 right there. Okay? Well, negative divided by negative is a positive number, so we simplify this to be positive. So it's just 15 over 14. There is our final answer. Our slope here between these 2 points, 3, 0, and negative 11, negative 15. 19, comma, negative 2. And my second point being negative 11 and 10. So we follow our formula. Our slope is y2, which is 10, minus y1, which is negative 2, okay, over x2, negative 11, minus my y1, or x1, which is negative, minus a positive 19, okay? So now let's go simplify that. Well, 10 minus a negative 2, we can see is 10 plus a positive 2, if you want, and negative 11 minus 19 is plus a negative 19. Sometimes that's easier to see. Well, 10 plus 2 is easy, that's 12. Okay? And negative 11 plus a negative 19 is a negative 30. So we have negative 30 right there. And so we have 12 over negative 30. We can simplify that. Both are divisible by 3 and 6, actually 6. 6 goes into both of them. So if we divide both by 6 here and put the negative out front, 12 divided by 6 is a 2, and 30 divided by 6 is a 5. And so we have our final answer when I simplify this fraction as a negative 2/5. 6, negative 10. My second point being negative 15, positive 15. Okay? So we need to follow our slope formula, our change in y over change of x. Well, y2, 15, minus y1 and negative 10 over x2, negative 15, minus my x1, which is a 6. Okay? Well, let's simplify that. We have the negative, minus a negative is plus a positive, so we have 15 plus a positive 10 over negative 15. 15, 16. I was looking at that 6, I got ahead of myself. Let's not do that. Negative 15 here. Instead of minus 6, we have plus a negative 6. Okay, and I like to see my my numbers as adding a negative to them. So, pretty easy now. 15 plus 10 is 25. You got this. And negative 15 plus a negative 6, that's just a negative 21. Okay. Now, is there anything that goes in between? We can simplify this. I don't see any number. 5 goes in 25, but not 21. 3 doesn't go. No. Okay. So we're basically pretty much done here. Let's go rewrite this with the negative out front. 25 over 21. And there we have it. We have our final answer, our slope between these 2 points. 12, negative 18. And my second one to be negative 15 and negative 18. So I'm going to apply my slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, y2 being negative 18, minus y1 negative 18. Subtracting them, x2 negative 15 minus my x1, which is 12. Okay, so let's simplify this. Well, I'm going to make my subtracting negatives to be adding a positive, so we have negative 18 plus a positive 18 right there, over negative 15 plus a negative 12. I'm going to make that minus sign to be plus a negative. So now let's simplify. Negative 18 plus positive 18 is 0. At this point, if this denominator is not 0, we know our slope is going to be 0 because we're going to 0 divided by some number. But let's amuse ourselves here. Negative 15 plus a negative 12 is a negative 27. Okay, so we have 0 divided by negative 27. Well, 0 divided by any number is just 0. Little secret of the trade there. So 0 over negative 27 being that 0. And put a box around it for my final answer there. And our slope is 0, and that's the slope between these 2 points. It's actually like that little horizontal slope. Okay, if you want to. Eventually, you'll be graphing them. So, favorite points here. 3, negative 20. Let's put some parentheses around that, shall I? And the second point here is 5 and 8. Well, I follow my slope formula. My y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. y2 being 8. Minus y1, which is negative 20, over x2, 5, minus x1, which is 3. Well, let's make this top one. We see minus a negative 20 is adding a positive 20, so we have 8 plus a positive 20, but I'm not going to do it to the denominator. That's fine, 5 minus 3. 8 plus a 20, that's good old 28. And 5 minus 3 is 2. Now we can simplify. What's 28 divided by 2? Should be pretty easy. Hopefully that's 14. And that's it. That's our slope. 14 is our slope. It's our final answer. It's a slope between these 2 points, 3, negative 20, and 5, 8. 15, 8. And my second point to be negative 17, 9. Okay? So I have my 2 points here. Well, I need to follow the slope formula written right there. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. 9 being my y2 minus 8 my y1 over x2 negative 17 minus x1 15. Okay? Well, let's simplify this. 9 minus 8 is good old 1. Pretty easy. And negative 17 minus 15, if it's easier for you to see, we have negative 17 minus, or plus a negative 15. I find it sometimes easier to see it that way, but I have to write that out. Negative 17 plus a negative 15 simplifies to be Well, that's going to be what, 30, 32? Let's just show on the side just to be sure here. 17 plus 15. 7 plus 5 is good old 12. Carry the 1. 1 is 3, 32. Yeah. Negative 32 right there in my denominator. We put the negative out front if we want negative 1 over 32. And there is our final answer. Okay? Negative 19, comma 12. My second point to be negative 9, comma 1. So I'm going to apply the slope formula. y2, 1, minus y1, which is 12, over x2, negative 9, minus x1, which is negative 19. So let's make these subtractions here, and negatives be adding a positive or negative. So 1 minus 12 is 1 plus a negative 12, and I find it's easier to see it that way. And negative 9 minus a negative 19 is plus a positive 19. Hopefully that's easier to see. Well, 1 plus a negative 12 is a negative 11, and negative 9 plus a positive 19 is a positive 10. So now we have negative 11 over a positive 10, and I can't simplify that anymore, and so there's our fraction, our final answer, our slope between these 2 points. 12, comma 2, and negative 7, comma 5. Okay, so I was given these 2 points. Well, if I want to find those 2 points, I'm going to use the slope there. So my slope formula, m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. y2 is 5, minus y1, which is 2, over x2, negative 7, minus x1, which is 12. Okay, so now we need to simplify this. Well, numerator is pretty easy. 5 minus 2 is 3. And the denominator, I like to write this as, instead of subtracting 12, adding in a negative 12. So negative 7 plus a negative 12 there. It's up to you and how you want to see that. Well, I find it easier, so we have, that's my video, negative 7 plus a negative 12. Well, 3 up top. Negative 7 plus a negative 12 is a negative 19. Okay? So we have a negative 19 down there, and 3 does not go into negative 19 at all. There's no common factor there. So in rewrite, the negative is out there, 3 over 19. And there we have our final answer. Our slope between these 2 points is negative 3 over positive 19. 6, comma, negative 12. My second point being 15, comma, negative 3. Okay? So I have my 2 points right there. All right? So I need to apply the slope formula. My slope formula, m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Negative 3 minus y2 minus y1 negative 12 over x2 15, x1 6. So we have minus 6 there. Okay? Well, I'm going to rewrite my numerator instead of subtracting negative 12 to be adding a positive 12. So negative 3 plus a positive 12. And my denominator, well, 15 minus 6 is fairly easy. It's just 9. Okay? Well, negative 3 plus a positive 12 I can see is just 9. So we have a positive 9 over 9. And to me, 9 over 9 is just 1. And then we have it. Pretty easy, right? 9 over 9 is just 1. That's our slope. That's our final answer. And it's a slope between these 2 points, which is just 1. 9, comma 3. My second point is 19, comma, negative 17. So if I'm going to find the slope, I'm going to apply my slope formula. My y2, negative 17, minus my y1, which is 3, over x2, 19, minus x1, which is just 9. Okay, so we have negative 17 minus 3. Well, negative 17 minus 3, hopefully you can see that. That's just a negative 20, right? So negative 17, we start there, we go subtract 3 units, gives us to negative 20, and 19 minus 9 is just a positive 10. So we have negative 20 divided by a positive 10. Well, 20 divided by 10 is just 2, and we have negative divided by positive is a negative, so we just have a negative 2 as my final answer, my final slope. My slope between these 2 points.
Minute Math. When you need help, you use Minute Math. Minute Math. Minute Math. When you need help, you use Minute Math. MinuteMathTutor.com.